Croeso and welcome to Beyond the Track podcast. My name is James, the coach, commentator, lecturer and endurance runner.
And I'm Jenny Nesbitt, GB distance runner.
In this podcast, we're going to be going beyond the track, talking to the very best athletes and sports professionals in Wales and beyond.
We hope you leave better informed and a little bit more inspired about running and athletics.
So welcome back to Beyond the Track. It is episode 2 of season 2, and you might see that there's an empty seat next to me. That's because Jenny Nesbitt is no longer Jenny Nesbitt. She is now Jenny Long. So she got married at the weekend. So congratulations to the happy couple. And it looked like they had an absolutely fabulous day. And it was a busy weekend. We had a fair amount of wind as well in Wales. So it was, a shame that the junior races and the fun run weren't able to happen on the Saturday. But I'm going to take you through some of those Oisho Cardiff half marathon results in a second. But I think we should start first with the World Para Athletics Championship results in New Delhi that closed out. Welsh athletes will return with 2 gold medals, 3 bronze medals, a world record, a European record following hugely successful World Para Athletics Championships. Holly Arnold won the first of Great Britain's haul of 25 medals. She claimed also the bronze medal. It was in the F46 javelin, and that was the opening day of the championships, that first medal of what was such a successful haul. But Ala Davis, well, look, last of GB's 7 gold medals, and he's just an absolute world championship beast. His 7th consecutive world title in the F63 shot put on the final day of the event. And just to see him back on the top spot of the podium, absolutely delighted for him and his team. In between, Sabina Fortune won her 4th F20 shot put world title, breaking her own world record at the same time by a whole metre. Michael Jenkins won the F38 shot put bronze with a new European record. So one of our guests on here, Michael, well done again to him and his team. And there was also an excellent bronze medal for Fumi Oluwayi, the Cardiff athlete, in the F44 shot put final, as well as fine performances from our fellow host Harrison Walsh, and also brilliant performances by Brie Cronin and Olivia Breen. So well done to all of the para athletes, the British athletes, the Welsh athletes and their teams. So the Oisho Cardiff half marathon yesterday was sold out in 12 hours of the masses, 27,000 runners. But up the elite end, it also featured the Welsh Championships and Dan Nash of Pontypridd Rodents taking the title. And the guest that we have on today's show coming into the studio for a catch-up, Natasha Wilson, winning the women's Welsh title from the Mickey Morris Racing Club. Dan Nash, 15th overall, 64 minutes and 28 seconds, said it was just a great atmosphere for the race. He lives 20 minutes to the course, and so the support was absolutely phenomenal out there. John Butler taking second place for Swansea Harriers, and Dan Hamilton, another Ponty Rodents, on the podium for third. So Natasha Wilson's time, she clocked a 72.58 clocking, and that's after having been ill for the last few weeks. So she said she didn't want to miss Cardiff, but she wanted to be there on that start line, and she was, and she took that Welsh title from another Ponty Rodents athlete, Olivia Sims, and Louise Flynn of Le Croups taking the bronze medal. Wheelchair race, the Welsh National Development Programme athlete Owen Terrell, Newport Harriers, finished 5th overall behind Callum Hall, who claimed the win. And then it was also part of the Super Half Series. So, and that was won. The men's winner was a superb bit of running by Miriam Chebet, defending her title, and the course record smashed by Israel Delu was just phenomenal. So Delu's time, to put it into context, sub 60 minutes, but not just sub 60 minutes, 59 minutes and 22 seconds to smash the previous record of Leonard Langat, literally out of the park. And the other performances, if you look at them, they were just outstanding world performances, putting Cardiff on the map. There was second place was 60.04 and third place 60 minutes and 33 seconds. The race winner himself, very, very happy, he said in an interview after, to set the new figures. But he said it was very windy, and we were just joking off air, what can he run in non-windy conditions? So Chwmbran this time conquering also the blustery conditions to retain her Oisho Cardiff half marathon title. The Kenyan added the Istanbul gold medal to her title this year, so 5 seconds quicker than she was 12 months ago. Winning time 66 minutes and 36 seconds. Surged away over the barrage, maintaining a 56-second victory from two Ethiopian chasers behind in 67.33 and 68.08. Former world marathon world record holder Florence Kiplagat. I love the fact we're seeing some of the absolute greats on the streets of Cardiff. She was 10th in 64 minutes and 28 seconds. Chwmbran after the race said she was ready for it. She won last year. She wanted to win again. After 8K, she felt a little bit of the strain, a little bit of the wind, but she did her best. So lots of support, she said, on the crowd side, and it pushed her to the finish. And I said, just such a shame that the fun run and junior races were cancelled by the wind. There was a chance, though, for some of our junior athletes up north, the start of the North Wales Cross Country League fixtures. There were some great performances. There was senior men's won by Noah Vaughan, Eri Harriers, and there was the women's was won by Alison Lavender. There was under 17 Zach Campbell, a talented athlete, D-side, winning the junior race was Elliot Rowe, another talented D-side athlete. And the under 15, Martha Brown, winning the girls' race. And there was also Spencer Jones, the under 13 Wrexham athlete, and Gwen Hayes, the Hayes sisters, normally flying on the track, on the road, and on the cross country. She took the girls' title there. And under 11s, it was Elliot Steele Jones, Menai track and field, and Zoe James, D-side, winning those races. So some of the other races that we had: Blaze, the Blibbins, in Ross-on-Wye. Again, due to high winds, they weren't able to run. And also the Bangor half marathon fell victim. So we hope some of those races get their chance to reschedule themselves. But however, the 10K race in the Bangor half was able to go ahead. That was won by Andrew Moore, Bangor University, who finished with a time of 32.55. I'm sure he'd be happy with those in fairly breezy conditions. So that concludes what's happened this week. We can't wait to get on to the interview with Natasha Wilson. I'm really looking forward to it because, she had such a career, and she is someone that, she ran yesterday. So let's find out a little bit more from Natasha and where she's going to go in the future. So it's a warm welcome back to Beyond the Track, and we're delighted to have our latest guest in the studio, Natasha Wilson, fresh from her Welsh athletics half marathon title in Cardiff yesterday, and a superb marathon runner. Welcome to the podcast, Natasha.
No, thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
So let's go back to yesterday on the streets of Cardiff, taking that Welsh title. You've had a funny few weeks, I hear, fighting off a little bit of illness as well.
Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have raced yesterday. I think any other race, I wouldn't put myself on the start line. In hindsight, even for Cardiff, I shouldn't have put myself on the start line. But it's always so hard to say no. And I mean, I came away with the Welsh title, so it wasn't all bad.
Because you said you raced in Copenhagen a few weeks ago, and you didn't quite feel right, even though you almost broke 70 minutes that day. So take us through what that felt like, and what the build up to Cardiff's been like. Yeah,
so Copenhagen was 3 weeks ago, or 3 weeks prior to Cardiff. I think I went out there in what I felt like PB shape and picked up COVID travelling out there. So the day before the race was like hot and cold all day, but I mean, I was already there, so I was committed to racing. Didn't feel too terrible. Race morning, woke up with a sore throat, but again, didn't feel terrible. By the time we actually got to the race and warm-up was starting, sore throat was gone, but didn't feel quite right in the warm-up, like sweating buckets, which isn't normal for me. Like, I don't normally sweat that much.
And it was fairly cool and wet, wasn't it, race day?
Yeah, it was absolutely hammering down. So, I was like stripping layers off. And like in the back of my mind, I knew I didn't feel that great. But when you're that far in and committed, I was like, let's just forget about it and just race. And it didn't go too badly. I think I ran a 70.09, which is not too far off my PB, but I did feel like I was, or should have been, in PB shape had I not picked up COVID on the flight over. So yeah, it's been a rough three weeks leading up to Cardiff, just easy running. Heart rates have been like insane.
You said one was up to 190,
yeah,
wasn't
like
it?
a steady 10 mile and it went up to 190. So
Wow.
I mean, that should have told me that I should have just stopped
Yeah.
and had a few days off. But yeah, here we are.
But that's a theme that we're going to go through your career about being, a tough cookie and putting yourself on the line. In terms of the conditions yesterday, in terms of the race, second Brit across the line as well. What were the crowds like out in Cardiff yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's so hard to turn it down, being like coming to Cardiff, home crowd. I mean, even for the athletes that aren't the home athletes, it's still incredible. But being a home athlete in front of the Welsh crowd is just, it's insane. It's such a great race. It's one of my favourite races, and I've raced, quite a lot over the years.
And another Welsh title. And if we go back to where you started, do you remember when you were a youngster running for Cwmbran, your first Welsh title?
I don't remember my first Welsh title. Like, I do remember some of them, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure actually like where my first one. Probably an under 13 maybe. So
Okay.
yeah, it's been a while. But
Yeah, well, that's great. That's
yeah.
great longevity. And so, if we go back to your under 13 days, or even prior to that, where did your sports journey start? Who kind of inspired you, and how did you end up going down to Cwmbran?
Yeah, so started in primary school. I think I was year 5. I'm not sure how old you are then, maybe 9.
Yeah, I think
Got asked to do a cross country just randomly, like they just asked a few of us. Did that, won that cross country. It's just like I guess all the schools in South East Wales came together. And then after that, I went down to Cwmbran Harriers and met my coach Dave, who I was with until he passed away. And yeah, that was the start of it all.
And what was that group like? Because there were a lot of runners that came out of that Cwmbran group, weren't they? I remember seeing you guys as juniors with the black with the white stripes.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And it was always such a strong number of athletes coming through. What was that like, having a really nice setup as a junior?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best setup I've actually ever had, even now.
Yeah.
Like I had training partners all the time, right from under 11 till I left Cwmbran to go to uni. Always had a good training group. So, and obviously Dave was like such a great coach. He was there every week, no matter the weather. Tuesdays, Thursdays would stand out in like the pouring rain, and yeah, it was just a great environment to develop into.
And obviously Cwmbran Stadium, I would have thought was many of the training sessions. What other locations around the area did you use?
So there's a hill right outside the stadium, which looking back is actually like, when I go there now, it's actually tiny. But back then,
as an under 13,
I remember this hill being absolutely brutal. And
Yeah.
we used to do hill sprints up there, and just find like places in Cwmbran. I remember when the roads were icy, he'd always take us over to the Asda car park,
Yeah.
and we'd do laps of Asda car park.
I love
and
that.
sprinting up and down the car park, and that was it was all fun. Like, we had such a good training group. It was so social, and I guess that's why I still run today, because I fell in love with the sport back then.
Did you play any other sports when you were younger at school? Any team sports?
Yeah, so then obviously we went to Crossy Comprehensive.
Yeah.
Was quite big into hockey and netball, so played county hockey and played for the school
Wow,
in netball
okay,
too.
yeah.
I think I would have liked to have done both to a
Yeah.
higher level, but it was kind of like you need to
What age
choose.
did you kind of, specialise more in running?
I'd say running probably always came first,
Yeah.
just because I think maybe my parents supported that side of it more. But yeah, I played county hockey probably up until going to uni.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then, obviously went to uni, and that was when all the other sports stopped and
Yeah.
full focus on running.
So university journey, talk us through, what your decisions were, where you went, and that, kind of transition from home to university.
Yeah, so I had several coaches contact me from America, I think when I was in first year of sixth form, so like way before even thinking about university really. But as soon as I had one coach contact me, I was like, well, this is where I'm going. Like,
Yeah.
what an opportunity. Like, they're going to pay for everything. I don't need to get a student loan. Like,
Yeah.
It was an insane offer. And I think back then, not many athletes had actually gone out to America at that point.
No, it was still fairly quiet. Was it
yeah,
2012?
It
Was
quite
it?
new.
You went, yeah.
So I think I was one of the first Brits to have this offer. And I was like, it's an American dream. Like, I
Yeah.
remember learning in PE about American sport and like living the American dream. And I was like, I've been offered this.
Wow.
Like, I can't not go. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was it. I was going there no matter what. So, yeah.
So Tulsa in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And what was that slight kind of cultural change, training setup change? What was that like for a young Natasha?
I think in hindsight, I shouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
At least not that young. I mean, I went out there at 17. I
wow.
wasn't ready to go out. It's such a big jump to go from like living at home. And I mean, I came from like a farm as well. So it's not even like very social. Like I lived this like farm life, just went to school, did sport. And that's pretty much all I did. And then I moved across to America and I was like, here I am.
Okay.
Like on my own. Most of the team were older as well. I jumped straight from like 40 miles a week right up to 100.
Wow.
So it's just like big jumps,
That's
big adjustments. So in hindsight, I think I should have gone to university in the UK and then did my master's in America. But you live and you learn.
Because you did your master's in America as well, didn't you? And you moved universities.
No, I stayed at Tulsa
you stayed
for
at Tulsa
5 years.
5 years.
5
okay.
years.
Yeah.
And then I was actually supposed to be going back out there again, but to South Carolina.
I think I remember something like that. Yeah,
and that was actually, at that point, I was already injured. So I had a knee injury my 4th year, which put me out my 5th year. So I didn't run at all my 5th year. And I was done with running. Like I was
really?
so I was actually going out to South Carolina to do my doctorate in psychiatry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then...
So what year was that? Was that 2016 or...?
It would have been right around 2016, yeah.
So you were done with running, injuries.
Yeah, so graduated Tulsa, came home, was done running, got a place at South Carolina. My South Carolina funding was actually predominantly coming from being going to be a graduate assistant coach. So I guess I would say I was done running, but I was going to be a graduate assistant coach to pay for my studying, essentially. But came home that summer, got a job working in horses, like literally minimum wage. Absolutely loved horses.
Yeah.
Been away from it for 4 years. And I didn't go back. I stayed in this minimum wage job for a year. I think my parents were like, what the hell is happening? Like,
and you started to run a little bit as well, didn't you?
I think through actually working with horses, I think it strengthened my knee more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And then gradually just started getting a bit fitter, like working physically. And then eventually got back into running. My dog got fat. She needed exercise. And started running with her and then met MMRT, who I'm with now.
Yeah.
They were just like, come and join for a session.
Brilliant.
And they were saying this for months. And I was just like, no, I'm not running anymore. But
was that the Mickey Morris club?
So I'm still with them now.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Because I meant to look up and I forgot, but we did a race in Monmouthshire, like a mountain
been the start
race.
Of my return to it.
And I remember looking round, and because it's such a strange start line, wasn't it, where you couldn't see anyone.
I'm pretty sure we got lost.
I think everyone got lost.
Yeah.
But I remember you came careering down the hill just behind me, and I remember thinking, that's Natasha, she's back.
Yeah, so that would have been my return to running. So I started my return on the trails because I was like, there's just no pressure. No one knows who I am. Times don't matter. I actually did a couple of mountain races as well.
Yeah.
And then just spiraled from there. Did a marathon and then...
So let's not rush this marathon. So was that Dublin? Was Dublin your first marathon?
Yeah, that was my first marathon.
So what was the idea behind that? Was it like, okay, I'm back running. I want to aim for something. That was in October that year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
October 2017. So you just thought, right, I'm going marathon.
To be honest, there wasn't a lot of thought behind it. So that was the year that I was on the mountains and the trails.
Self-coaching or a little bit through the club? Or
no, self-coaching, a little bit through the club. I actually went out to running for Wales, went out to Italy the week before Dublin. You
did a mountain race, didn't you? That's right.
It was a relay,
Yes,
so
it's quite a popular relay, isn't it?
So we did that the week before and... Honestly, I couldn't even stand up the day after. And I was like, I've got my first marathon in 4 days.
That's not normal prep, I don't think, for a marathon,
no,
is it?
I hadn't prepped for the marathon. I hadn't trained for the marathon. I didn't even know what marathon training was.
Yeah.
But I don't know how
So what did you do then? Did you do any, I suppose you did long runs, but were they marathon-specific long runs?
No, they were just random long runs.
Going out for random long runs,
I was just doing trail, like just having fun, I guess. Yeah. I'd go out for a run. I'd run as long as I felt like running for, and then that was it. And then went and did the mountain race in Italy.
Ruined your legs.
Yeah, honestly ruined my legs. I couldn't walk down the stairs for days after that. And I was like, should I still do Dublin? My flights booked,
hotels booked.
Yeah, I might as well go and do it.
Did you have a time in mind for Dublin?
Absolutely
Or did you just literally just go and run by feel?
No, just rocked up on the start line, one of the MMRT guys, like, you not got any gels or anything? I said, no, nothing. So he handed me a gel. I'd never tried a gel in my life before.
When did you take it in the marathon? What,
I
can you remember?
Take it.
Oh, you didn't even take it?
I was too scared to take it.
So you ran a marathon without a gel?
I felt so guilty because he gave up this
One
gel.
of his gels. I love that.
Like he'd practiced and done like proper marathon builds with like this specific nutrition plan, and he gave up this gel for me.
For you, and you didn't even take it.
I didn't even take it.
Oh yeah, I think that's you won't live that one down.
Yeah,
but
so I do feel guilty.
You ran 2:49. Okay.
Yeah, so that was my debut.
And when you finished, what was the feeling like? And did you realise then that was the start of something special in terms of marathons?
Not really. So I remember I did hit the wall at mile 20.
It's because you didn't take your gel.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. I hit the wall and was
as a coach now, you probably tell athletes,
yeah,
take the gels otherwise you hit the wall. Wait, so you hit the wall, and did you slow down drastically?
Oh, like abs, like huge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you'd have run. So if you had that gel, do you know what you might have run that day? Or
I don't know what pace I was on
Okay.
for, but it was a drastic slowdown in pace. The last 6 miles was an absolute battle. I never really knew what hitting the wall was.
Until you hit it.
Yeah, I heard people say like, "Oh, you hit the wall," but I'd never experienced it before. I'd done like track, cross country.
Yeah.
You don't always experience it in the shorter races.
Agreed.
I've never experienced it, and then I experienced it that day.
Yeah, no, I hit the wall even though I took gels my first marathon, and it's a weird feeling. It's a weird sensation.
It's so strange. You literally go from feeling good to
it's always,
instantly like.
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
and that watch when you look at it and you see the splits getting slower, and it's almost like there's nothing you can do. You're on survival mode.
I was like, this is what people talk about.
You definitely learn. So you've averaged, I think it's 2 to 3 marathons a year since then. That after then, and 2019 you went back to Dublin and ran 2:30. Was that a special moment again, having been there as an amateur marathon runner, to then going back and 2:30 is seriously going up those Welsh rankings, and a big time. What did those 2 years look like, coaching setup wise?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you took gels and you did some long runs specifically for the marathon for that 2:30. I'm assuming.
Yeah, so for the 2:30, I think after Dublin the first time, the 2:49. I did Newport. I think the following April. And again, I didn't train for that, but that wasn't out of choice. I was injured.
Right.
So I just cross-trained.
Yeah.
I literally was doing insane cross-training. I was doing like 3 hours in the morning, then going back and doing another 2 hours in the evening. Like I was properly cross-training.
Okay.
So I think I ran the 2:44 something there off of cross-training. So I was like, okay, if I can PB that much, like 2:49 down to 2:44, off of just cross-training, what can I do with a proper
with that bit
build?
running?
So that's when I was like, okay, I should take this a bit more seriously. And I contacted Tony Houchin.
Yeah.
So he was actually one of the coaches that initially tried to get me to go out to America.
Right, that's interesting. I wonder where the connection was with Tony.
So when I was still in school, he messaged me saying like, hey, do you want to come out? I'm coaching at UNLV at the time, so University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I absolutely wanted to go there, but my parents were like, no, like you're too young. You don't need to be going to Las Vegas.
You're not going to Vegas.
Yeah, like literally don't go to Vegas. And
you're going to Oklahoma, not Vegas.
Yeah, and Tulsa had like, it was really good academically. So they were just like, this is a better uni. So I think I was swayed by that, not because of the coach. And Tony knew that. And Tony then moved to Alabama anyway, so it was fine. Stayed in touch, and then, just contacted him, was like, will you coach me? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of where the proper marathon training started.
Wow. And that build up to not just rocketing up the Welsh rankings, I should say rocketing to the top of the Welsh rankings in terms of Welsh all-time list. So when you ran that 2:30...
Yeah, that was actually the Welsh record.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Did you realise the magnitude of the fact you'd set a record that Olympians... I think it was who was it? Yeah, Susan Tooby's record. From the 88 Olympic Games, that you'd jumped in just 2 years from someone standing on the start line to then not knowing whether to have gels, to cross training for a marathon, to having the Welsh record. What was that feeling?
I still don't really think at the time I really knew like what it meant.
Yeah.
I think as well, I was like, I could have done better. Because I think, before that race, that was when I was working for Welsh Gov. So it was quite a new job. So I was working quite long hours. So I wasn't I was training properly, but I was working as well. And then the week of that race, I remember I finished work and then I went to check my pony. So I have a pony as well. And when I was checking him, one of the other horses in the field kicked me.
Oh, no.
And this was like on Thursday evening before the Sunday race. So it might have even been Friday. Because
Wow.
I remember...
Where did the horse kick you?
Right in the side of my leg.
Oh, no.
So the side of the thigh. So I remember messaging Adam and was like, Adam, I've been kicked. And he was like, what do you mean you've been kicked? I was like, by a horse. And I got a race. I got my first...
Adam's seen a lot of things or heard a lot of things. I'm pretty sure that's not one that's common.
Yeah, so he was away as well. He was like traveling
Yeah.
for some event. And he was just like, just elevate it, compress it.
Yeah.
What do I compress it with? It was like super late on a Thursday night. I think I was flying the next day. And honestly, I just duct taped my leg like so tight. And I went to bed like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it wasn't a great build into Dublin either, but somehow I pulled it off.
So you knew then there was more to come.
Yeah.
2020 London Marathon, first British woman home, I think, that day.
That was
Yeah.
COVID, yeah.
What was that like, again, to run the London Marathon, one of the biggest marathons in the world. You were just shy of the Olympic standard, weren't you, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of disappointment being so close to the Olympic standard as well?
I think that day, like, I was injured going into that as well. Again,
You don't seem to have much luck, really, in terms of... What was the injury going into that? Was it just...
So we couldn't actually figure it out.
Yeah.
I think, I'm probably a nightmare for Adam.
He loves a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, no, he honestly, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't still be running right now.
Yeah.
So that was during COVID. So I was driving back and forth because we couldn't stay anywhere, could we? Because it was like lockdown. So I was literally driving back to Cardiff, getting physio, driving back to Norfolk, all in a day.
Wow.
And we just couldn't figure it out. But somehow, between Adam and Dr. Rodri, they got me on the start line.
Yeah.
Got through the race.
Where was the pain? Was it...
Ankle.
Ankle.
I had this like weird lump in my ankle.
Right.
Had an MRI and everything. We just could not figure it out.
No horses to blame for that one.
No one to blame. It's still a mystery injury.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah. But I think the fact that I just got to that start line and won the race, like British title, like I didn't even think about Olympic.
Wow.
So
So it was more the positives you took from it than being slightly shy of the Olympic time.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go to Birmingham, 2022, in the Welsh vest.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Because we were course side. A lot of us were there as part of either the Welsh setup, or there was lots of fans and spectators there.
Yeah.
A tough course, wasn't it? A tough,
Yeah.
standard of course. But what was that like to be in the Commonwealth Games?
Like to be in the Commonwealth Games, it was amazing because
Yeah.
obviously that year we had Europeans, Commonwealths, and Worlds. So it's like, which one do you want to do if you could do any of them? But I was always set on Commonwealths. Like that was always like,
That's the one.
A no-brainer for
Yeah.
me. So to be part of the Commonwealths, to be part of the Welsh team was amazing. For me, though, on the day, like, worst experience ever.
Yeah.
It was a terrible race for me.
Yeah. What happened? Because you finished 12th overall, but it just seemed like you just didn't happen for you from almost the start of the race.
I felt off during the warm-up.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel right because I had a really good build,
Yeah.
which it was just such an odd,
Yeah.
really odd. So I did get COVID. I think it was 3 days after. So I'm like, did I have COVID
So it
during
could
the
have
race?
been
But
sat in your system,
I really
maybe.
don't know because I didn't feel that bad the
Yeah.
day after. It was 3 days after. So yeah, still to this day, don't really know like what happened.
Yeah.
But something was off.
Because that must have been, looking back, a real frustration because
So
it was
frustrating, yeah.
it was a course for strength, and
Yeah.
and you did. I remember the conversations that your build up had gone really
yeah,
well.
like we put so much into that. Like first time ever used an altitude temp, which is like miserable, but I was like, I'm going to make the sacrifices for Commonwealths. Had a really good build, but yeah, just didn't go. I mean, it's part of sport, isn't it? Part
Yeah.
of marathon running, especially like frustrating as it is. It's all learning. It's part of it.
So what do you put your mental strength down to in terms of you keep getting setbacks, even in the week of a race, you have setbacks or a horse kicking you or something, happens. What do you put this down to that you're able to cope, or from setbacks, you're able to come back from them?
I think the comebacks are just always better than the setbacks, and
Yeah.
they're just always bigger. Like, I think the comebacks are just always worth it.
Yeah. And you seem to come back stronger every time. And so the next year, 2023, or the end of that year, it might have been actually with Valencia, wasn't it? So
22, I think.
Yeah, 22. Yeah. So at the end of 2022, go to Valencia. Such a fast race, such a great course, great time of year. 2:26 to take the Welsh record again. By 4 minutes. So, that's a proper Welsh record.
Yeah.
You've put in the record books there at that point in time. What was that like bouncing back? Was that the shape you were in Birmingham, but basically you just got to show it in Valencia?
So I actually think I was in better shape going into Birmingham.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so Valencia build, it wasn't actually that smooth. Like,
Yeah.
it was quite up and down. Like, I still had a decent build, but it was quite up and down. Like, for no specific reasons, just marathon builds in general. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down.
Yeah.
I went into that race actually not knowing what I wanted to aim for, because I remember that was the first time I actually met Robert, who is now my coach.
Yeah.
I remember sitting down the race morning, like, what should I even aim for? Like,
Was Rob Hawkins coaching you before that, or?
So my first marathon build with like proper marathon
Yeah.
build where I actually made the start line
Yeah.
with him was Commonwealth.
Yes.
Which obviously didn't go to plan.
Yeah.
So then Valencia was my second one.
Second one, right? Yeah.
So I didn't really know like what to expect. So
Because Rob's very direct. I love Rob.
yeah, man, a few words, but
Did
yeah.
he say you can run this X, or were you both a little bit
I think
unsure of the shape you were in as well?
I think he was also a bit unsure.
Yeah.
And there was a 2:29:30 pacer, so he
Right.
was like, "Let's try and go with that."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Okay," like that was the plan.
Yeah.
And then I went out, and it was like 5:15. I was like, "But I feel really good."
Yeah.
So I just went with it, and I
Wow.
stuck with that group the whole way through. I think it was a very slight negative split as
Yeah.
well. By like,
What was your halfway split? Can you remember?
I think it was like 1:13,
Wow.
15, something like
Yeah.
it was 5 seconds between the two splits.
And then,
So
yeah. And
yeah,
then-
so I'm so glad I went with it and wasn't like, oh my gosh, I need to slow down to 2:29.
Wow, that's super impressive. And that got you selection for the World Championships in Budapest in
Yeah.
2023. You ran in those World Champs 30th. World Champs are tough, aren't they, in terms of
Yeah.
conditions, standards, and the whole championship experience. What was that like? Being part of the British athletics team and running the World Championships.
Yeah, that was amazing. Again, like my build for that wasn't smooth,
Yeah.
which kind of made it harder going into that race. But I mean, being part of that team and like being out there and experiencing it was amazing. And like race day, it wasn't amazing, but it was also not terrible either. Like
Yeah.
30th in the world in that kind of field, it was fine. It was happy enough. It wasn't. I mean, you always want more, but yeah, it was fine. I think when I was there initially, I was like, I don't belong here. It was my first.
Really, it was a bit of like
Yeah, I think I just felt like I was still working as well. I was just like, all these people are full-time athletes. Like, I shouldn't be here.
Well, I kind of want to get onto that where, like watching your kind of social media feed at the time, you were working some long hours, weren't you? So take us to at the time, you were racing against people that are full-time athletes, off on camps, sleeping during the day, training wherever they want. What was your day-to-day work-life balance like at the time? Running at 5, your runs were in the morning, weren't they? Early mornings
I
a lot
like
of times.
to mostly run in the mornings.
Yeah.
Like, and some days I'd message Rob and be like, I tried this, and this would be like 5 a.m. I'd be like, I've already tried this workout, but I couldn't do it because I'm just so tired. This would be like coming off like a night shift.
Yeah.
This would be. So I'd literally finish night shift and then go. I wouldn't want to go home because I know if I go home, I'm not going to get this done.
So you do a night shift at work and then
I literally
attempt
go.
a session.
Yeah. So sometimes they go amazing because I think I'm running off adrenaline.
Wow.
And then occasionally, like, I just have absolutely nothing. So I remember messaging him the one day. I was like, I've tried this. I did the first rep and I felt absolutely awful. I think I'm going to go home, take a nap, and then I'll go out again and try it again. And he's like, just leave it. Just do it another day. But I went home, took a nap, went out and did it. And it was like the best workout I've ever had.
Wow.
So I think, it's tough sometimes, but somehow you just get through it.
But again, that comes back to your mindset of you're going to find a way to get it done. And it's not a defeatist, right, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. So, and what was your work at the time? What was your job? What did it entail?
So my most recent job was in HR.
Yeah.
But alongside that, I was also trauma practitioner.
Wow.
So yeah, like quite intense, I guess.
Yeah.
Like any trauma
Yeah.
call out, I could get called out at any time.
Wow. So doing those long hours, doing sessions in the very early mornings and trying to balance that, then going to a World Championships, you must have still been sort of super proud of yourself that you were 30th in the world.
Yeah,
and you'd run
I think that's
2:26 to get there.
I think you always want more, but I think like with the build, how it went, I knew that it didn't go like really smoothly. I think that was the year that I had glandular fever as well.
Just to throw another thing.
Yeah, and like I think we managed that really well. Like we did the world build whilst managing glandular fever, and I think because of that, I was like proud of what we achieved at Worlds.
And at what point did you go, right, I need to be full time. I need to change, my recovery and try and, give your body a little bit more recovery in between sessions?
I was aiming for Seville to get Olympic qualifying.
Yeah.
So that would have been last February, I think. No, February before.
Yeah.
2020. I'm not sure. Not that long ago.
Yeah, I know you mean 20. Yeah, no, in 23.
In two Sevilles.
No, 24.
Ago.
Yeah.
And then had a really good build. Like I felt like I was probably my best build, really good shape. And I think 3 weeks before the race, I tore my meniscus root.
How'd you do that?
No one really knows. Like it's such a, because a few people have done it now. I know one of the top American girls have done it. Lucy Reed's also done the same. And it's all happened the same way. Like no niggles, just no warning signs. And I was just about to hit the taper, went out and did a progression run. I was 3 miles in and just, it went pop.
Oh, wow.
It was such a strange...
So no turning, no falling.
Like such a strange injury.
Yeah.
So that happened. So I was out of Olympics, like missed the whole year.
Yeah.
Came back.
Yeah.
My first race back was my first proper race back was Belfast half marathon.
Yes.
And I remember my knee was still like kind of playing up a little bit. So I was like, I'm going to go home, get physio, and then fly out.
Yeah.
So I drove from Norfolk to Cardiff, saw Adam, flew out of Bristol. So raced Belfast, won Belfast.
Wow.
And then I had work the day after. So on the Monday, I had to start work at 9
drove
o'clock.
Back?
No, so anti-doping after Belfast, I took too long, missed my flight.
Oh, no.
Had to book a later flight Sunday night, which then got delayed. So then I was flying into Bristol. I got home at about 3 a.m., I think.
Wow.
And then had to get back to Norfolk to start work at 9. So I did that, and then I was so ill after, like so ill. And I was like...
That's it. You can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I was just like, work's getting in the way now.
Yeah.
And like, I loved working, and I think that's why I did it for so long.
Yeah.
But it was that I was like, work's getting in my way. It's
Yes.
like an inconvenience.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the initial like thought of, should I keep doing this?
Yeah.
I did it for another few months, and then I was like, this isn't working.
So when you paused your work, because you can always go back, can't you? What was that like, having a bit of extra recovery? What was it like training at what we'd say was normal training hours?
It was so strange.
I was going to say, it must have been really odd.
Really
you
hard,
must have not known what to do with yourself.
Yeah, I think initially it was so hard to actually, like, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I think because my sleep pattern had been so, like, it wasn't normal.
So regular.
And I'd sleep like 3 hours some nights. And I was doing that for years, like probably back since like 2017.
3 hours? What, the whole, and you wouldn't have any naps or anything the rest of the day?
That would be it, yeah. So I was doing that for years as well. Inevitably, I got chronic fatigue at points. I think just before I moved to Norfolk, I got chronic fatigue.
Yeah.
But then switched jobs anyway, so that wasn't a problem anymore.
Amazing.
So I think like just so long of like abuse in my body.
Yeah.
It took a long time.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably only been the last month where I actually sleep like an athlete.
So you could get a good bit of sleep now, and you're feeling the recovery from it. And obviously, Copenhagen showed the shape you were towards. Obviously, Cardiff wasn't quite the shape that you wanted to be in. Now, are we going back to Valencia in December?
Valencia
you said,
in December,
So you're not. I think you said before we came on air that you're probably not going to do the half potentially.
Yeah.
But put your eggs in the Valencia Marathon basket again.
Yeah, I mean, still unsure about the half. Like, it's still a possibility. We'll see how the next few weeks go. But yeah, all eggs in for Valencia Marathon.
And support team wise, coaching setup.
So obviously under Robert.
Still Rob, so yeah.
Yep. So that's all virtual. Obviously he's in Scotland.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems to be working quite well. I do everything solo, but I think, as much as I'd love a training group, like where I'm at in Norfolk, there is no one. So
what's the running routes like in Norfolk? And what's the, is there anyone you can link in for runs or?
Not really. Like we are middle of nowhere
really?
in Norfolk. Yeah. So yeah, it's just dead flat, straight roads, very different to Wales.
And it must be frustrating that there's no marathon at the Commonwealth Games next year. There must be a bit of frustration.
Yeah, there is massive frustration because obviously last time I chose Commonwealth, it didn't go to plan. So after that, I was like, definitely want to do the next Commonwealth.
You want to go back?
But at the same time, I'm like, at least if I run well at Valencia and like have the decision to run Europeans, I don't need to like make that decision of, should I do Commonwealth or should I do Europeans? Like that decision's made for me.
And it'd be back in,
Birmingham
again.
I think I'm
just trying to say that.
Like,
but the way you seem to bounce back, maybe it's you could go back there and right some wrongs. So yeah,
Birmingham. I think we are cursed, but no, maybe we
can.
No. We can
don't think like that. Don't think like that. So so hopefully Valencia goes well. Selection for Birmingham, and then you're on that start line, and the crowds again, and the whole atmosphere around Birmingham and the Common Games. Yeah. We expect the same for the European champs. We're in a really good point with the sport. You looked at the Oisho Cardiff half marathon yesterday with 27,000 runners. Yeah. All abilities, all ages. There's so many races up and down the UK, Europe, and the world that are selling out super fast. Running, you go on social media, and it's filled with people running, and there's a real kind of buzz. What have you seen that change over the last few years? Is there a running buzz up in Norfolk as well?
Maybe not so much in North. Well, there is, but like not where I am, just because we're so rural.
When you come back to Cardiff, do you see it and feel it as well?
It's incredible. Yeah, and obviously now even Cardiff's gone to ballot.
Yes.
You never had to done that years ago. Like they were probably struggling to fill the places.
Agreed. Yeah.
Whereas now they've got more places and they're having to go to ballot. Like it is incredible what the sport's done and like how many people are actually involved.
Yeah.
Like anyone can do it.
And the journey you've been on, from obviously being a talented youngster all the way through having setbacks and come all the way to senior ranks, what can national governing bodies do better to help people coming through the pathway?
I think for me, like Adam's been such a big part of my journey. Like I think quite often it goes underlooked by the governing body. Like certain people just seem to, I guess, hold certain athletes together. Like if you ask another athlete, it probably wouldn't be Adam that's kept them in the sport and kept them going. It'd be someone else within the governing body. I think I think Welsh athletics in particular have done a great job the last few years. They've certainly changed and grown from when I was a junior to now. So I think listening to the athletes as well, it's just so important, communication.
And that Welsh Athletics performance pathway that you're on, do you get to access lots of different parts of it to keep you? I know obviously you're in Norfolk, but you must have racked up a fair few miles coming back to Cardiff and back again. Yeah,
and obviously like my family is still here, so it's kind of it forces me to come back and see them as well. Like otherwise I probably wouldn't see my family as much as I should. So that's definitely nice. And there's loads of support that I could use, but obviously being in Norfolk it is harder, but I know that support is there if I absolutely need anything, which is so important.
And you're doing some coaching yourself and kind of supporting people coming through. What's some of the messages and key things that you, for new runners coming in or people that either haven't run a half marathon or a marathon, what's some of the key messages that you kind of drive into them to get them to that start line? Is it use a gel?
I mean, that is a big part of it. I think enjoyment is like the biggest part though, because I mean, for sure there's been times where I haven't enjoyed the sport. I mean, when I had my knee injury and I thought I was done after uni, I hated the sport. But I mean, in reality, I love the sport, which is why I'm still in it today. It's been quite a long journey. So, and if I didn't love it, then there is no way that I'd still be putting myself through it. Because it is brutal. Like, no matter what level especially for the marathon, like if you're a 5-hour marathoner or a 2-hour 30 marathoner or faster, like it's still brutal no matter what.
But absolutely.
It's just such a big achievement as well. Like, if you enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, no matter how hard it is, like, it's always worth it.
And do you get a buzz from coaching, seeing people achieve things that they didn't think possible?
Yeah, I was actually really glad that I sat out Valencia last year, because I was supposed to be doing Valencia, but it just came too soon after the knee injury. But I was actually glad I sat out, because I was glued to that app. Like, it was so...
It's addictive, isn't it? Apps?
Like, watching my clients, and they were all, like, on PB place, and it was just such a good feeling. Like, I think I got as much joy out of seeing them PB and, like, the happiness that they got and their, like, satisfaction as I would have if I went there and PB'd myself.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I try and tell people that about coaching, that it's so rewarding, obviously, to see people's performances. But it's okay for you to be happy and to get a buzz from it as well, because it's.
I think I was probably more nervous as well, like, because obviously when you're on the start line, you're
in control, aren't you? Yeah,
but when it's someone else, you're like, oh my god.
And especially a marathon build. Yeah, they put their trust in you, and it's a marathon build, so you don't get to do another one next week.
Yeah, it's very rewarding being on that side of it as well.
Superb. And where do you see yourself in terms of longevity even further? Are you just going to take every year as it comes? Will you be one of these people that runs for as long as you can run?
I always said that I wouldn't. I always said that when I'm done, I'm done. But that's not true.
Yeah.
And I always said that I'd go back to working.
Yeah.
And for the first, like, 3-4 months after working, I absolutely hated it. I was like, I want to go back. I even started applying for jobs again.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so I absolutely hated being full-time. But now I love it, and I'm like, I'm not going back to work. I can see myself moving up to ultras one day, maybe going back to the trails. Not sure how the knee will hold up for up and down, but definitely back to the trails, maybe all up mountain as well.
Wow, okay. Any bucket list marathons, if you were to give me 2 marathons that you would love to run before you can't run again?
I'd definitely like to do all the world majors.
Okay.
I've not actually, despite running, I think Josie said 14 marathons, which is crazy. Despite running that many, I've actually only done London. I think that's the only world major I've done. So definitely all the world majors.
So we need to tick those off the box at some point.
Yeah.
So any of the marathon majors, obviously other than London, that you think that would be somewhere you'd love to run?
I think because Sydney's just been added, hasn't it?
Okay,
so I've never been to Australia.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Partly for, like, the reason of not been to Australia before, that would be probably...
Combine that. So there you go. Let's make that happen. Let's get you to the Sydney Marathon next year. So you're a fan of other things outside of the sport. What do you like doing? And now you've got all this extra time because you're not working.
Yeah.
What do you do as downtime, Natasha?
Well, I'm, like, obsessed with animals.
Yes, yeah.
So I've got the 4 dogs.
What are their names?
So I've got Elsa, that's my shepherd, who I guess I technically should thank for getting me back into running.
She's your training partner?
Yeah. She was the one that was morbidly obese when I returned.
Is she fit?
She's old now, but she did get back very fit.
Yeah.
So I have her to thank for getting me back into running. And then we've got the 3 lurchers who have been my trainer. They've seen me through so many marathon blocks.
Yeah.
My first marathon block, I had the 2 lurchers join me, and then since then they've retired, and we've got another one to join me on the future block.
So they've put a few miles in relation to your training block.
Yeah.
So and you and your husband, hot nutrition. So are you both good in the kitchen?
He's hot on the nutrition.
Yeah, he's hot on the nutrition.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I've not improved that much.
If you've not improved, okay. So so what's your husband's name?
Jim.
So if he's cooking dinner and you get to invite 3 guests, dead or alive, anyone you want to invite, who would you invite to have this feast? Ooh. And what would you have? What would you have your husband cook as well?
To be fair, since it's not working, I have started.
You got better.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not so much the cooking side. I'm just not good at, like, the nutrition in general. Like, he will weigh everything out. Like,
he's on it. He's
He used to be a powerlifter,
right.
so he's like.
So that's his area.
I need this amount of carbs.
Does he have a speciality dish? Is one that is go-to?
He's very into American dishes, so and meats.
Yeah.
So we have a small holding as well, so he's like very into like self-sufficiency. We grow all our own veg and everything as well, so that's pretty cool.
So it's all going to be on your
so whoever's coming, they have to just
Wilson
wait
Ranch.
for me to run out and dig the carrots up.
Right, so we'll have whatever's being cooked in season with some type of meat. So any heroes, any famous people that you'd like to meet, or it could be family members. It can be that close to yourself as well.
I'd probably have Dave come back, because that was my first coach.
That'd be lovely. Yeah.
I don't know who else.
I'm sure he'd be hugely proud of what you've done in your running career as well. So that'd be a lovely chat. So any other guests, or it could just be Dave if you want to.
Maybe just Dave. No, that's not true. There's just so many people that are such big inspirations, and probably just Dave and family.
I love that. Okay, Dave and family. Nice home cooked meal with what you've got from home. That really works well. And last question we ask all of our visitors to the pod is, what piece of advice have you been given that you would almost pass on to others that and you've seen some tough times out there. So what message would you pass on, Tash?
I'd say health and happiness is your absolute wealth. Like, without health and happiness, you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve. You've got to be happy. You've got to be healthy. Love that. Well, look, we wish you continuation of being happy, back to full health, and into that Valencia block. We'd love to see you absolutely fly there. And thanks for coming on to Be On The Track and being our latest guest, Natasha. No, thank you. Thank you for having me. Awesome. Good luck. Thank you. So what a wonderful interview with Natasha. Again, we're so grateful for our guests coming in with their honesty. And we wish her all the best into that build-up into the Valencia Marathon in December. What's coming up this weekend? Well, it's the start of the Gwent League fixtures down here in South Wales. So Margam Park is where the club tents, the club team managers, the athletes, spectators are going to be driving to, getting themselves down to on Saturday. So I'll be down there racing for my club as well. So give me a cheer. And I know also that many clubs bring cakes as well. So I can also be swayed by cakes as well. So we do wish all our athletes all the very best for the start of the cross-country season. And we'll be reporting back next week with results of that. So don't forget, Be On The Track podcast is back next week. And do please subscribe, press like, and send it out to as many people as you can. And do have a fantastic week. And we're going to be back next week for episode 3 of season 2.